Their cannon is a true sniper among artillery. The crews of the Ukrainian self-propelled artillery system Bohdana have completed combat firing exercises at one of the training centers of the ground forces. The gunners of the 50th Separate Artillery Brigade practice coordination, precision targeting, and speed in executing fire missions. Watch next to see how they learned to destroy the enemy with long-range weapons. The soldiers are training to fire from a long-range towed cannon. Bohdana, this Ukrainian self-propelled artillery system, effective on the battlefield, has a 155mm caliber standard for NATO countries. Behind every shot are hours of preparation and maximum concentration. The cannon is operated by 8 artillerymen. Each has their own task.
One person carefully aims the heavy cannon, while another one loads the shell. The third person loads the propellant charge, and the fourth person, this is the final step. He loads the pyrotechnic cartridge and closes the breech. Then the gunner, on my command, fires the shot.
The shells for the Bohdana are heavy, over 40 kilograms, so teamwork is essential.
All right, with our own strength.
You have to work in such a way as not to reveal the position. That's why the soldiers carefully camouflage the installation. While it fires at a simulated enemy, Vyacheslav keeps a close watch on the air.
I turn on the sensor and it signals to me that this drone is interfering with us. It gives a signal. I look to see where it is. I take aim over the surface. And I adjust. I understand. I give the command. The sky is black. The guys hide, the crew. I fire, but they can't shoot, so they won't be seen.
One of Bohdana's advantages on the battlefield: mobility. Thanks to its wheeled chassis, the gun quickly moves into position, covers the target with fire, and swiftly withdraws from enemy strikes. For its precise destruction of the enemy deep behind the lines, the servicemen have dubbed this self-propelled artillery the sniper among artillery.
Up to 40 kilometers, that's with a rocket-assisted projectile. Right now, we're firing at about 9 to 10 kilometers, give or take.
Taras, with the call sign Bulba, was a warehouse manager until last November. Now he's the gunner for the Bohdana.
The gun commander gives me the data, the sight settings, the angle gauge. I aim, double-check everything. Then I step back to a safe distance, pull the cord, and the shot is fired. The gun fires.
Today, Bulba, like the rest of his comrades, fired his first combat shots. They are new recruits in the 50th Separate Artillery Brigade. Cosmos is satisfied with his crew's work.
They've already learned, and little by little, they're improving. They're becoming more and more coordinated, understanding each other better. At this stage, that's enough. From now on, they'll gain combat experience directly in battle.
Before joining the fighters on the front line, the artillerymen underwent combat coordination. The brigade is still being formed, and there are many tasks at the front. We have
a very wide range of target types that we engage. These include enemy infantry and armored vehicles. This also includes enemy artillery. We are also engaged in counter-battery combat against enemy artillery. These are our slogans. This is what we strive for. Every shot we fire is a small step toward victory.
The units of the Operational Command West are fighting the occupiers on the most critical sections of the front.
The entire combat zone is under our brigade, within our Army Corps. The core set of forces includes mechanized units, mechanized brigades, artillery brigades, support units, reconnaissance, all branches of the military that exist.
Ukrainian defenders, after training on the Bohdanas, assure that the weapon is loaded and hits its target flawlessly.
The barrel is clean, the sight is fine. It's not objective for us either. The enemy is in our sights.
Snizhana Sidoruk, Mykola Vasilyuk, Podrobici, Inter TV channel, Marathon United News.
Ground robotic systems perform a whole range of combat tasks. They provide logistics, evacuate the wounded, and even evacuate civilians. Recently, in the combat zone near Vovchansk, a wounded man and his paralyzed mother were evacuated by a ground robotic complex. The family lived in a half-destroyed house under constant shelling, and they couldn't leave on their own. However, the ground robotic complex that saved the people was eventually destroyed by the enemy, so the team is now raising money for a new one, a ground robotic complex. You can also join in raising funds for it. You will see the QR code on your screens.
2 people, a 50-year-old man with a head injury and his elderly mother, were found by the military in one of the partially destroyed villages of the Hovchansky district through which the front line now passes.
There is no connection there, neither mobile nor any other, no water, no food at all. I don't understand how people manage to live there. What we saw was a destroyed house, almost without a roof, the windows shattered. At first, we saw the young man, then he led us to his mother. She was lying by the broken window. We asked her right across from the window. That is, any drone could have, so to speak, taken them out.
The soldiers decided to evacuate the people. That very evening, a ground robotic complex was supposed to deliver supplies to the soldiers.
The decision to evacuate was made when
Detailed information recently came in that there was an elderly man accompanied by his very aged mother. She was in a paralyzed state, and they couldn't get out of there on their own for one very simple and specific reason. As they said, their only two-wheeled vehicle of choice was completely broken, and they simply couldn't leave the area with just one.
The rescue of civilians became another task, which was planned as an additional one for the return trip.
Vovsiu's mission was purely logistical, to deliver logistics. We were told that on the way back we needed to pick up 2 civilians.
There was one task.
On the way back we were told that we needed to stop by and pick up the civilians.
Dealing with anxiety, stress, and difficult people, it is just part of our job after all. It has to be done.
The NRC operators admit they were quite nervous, as this was their first time conducting such an evacuation. The operation had to be carried out in a flash. The woman was moved onto the NRC using a blanket. Her son strictly followed the soldiers' instructions.
I saw the man, but not... You could see blood on his head, but he was able to walk and was helping out. Good job. He did exactly what he was instructed to do there.
The medics say the woman was in critical condition. The family had spent the last 2 years in the village under constant shelling. Let's load up quickly now because we don't have time. We can't stay here long.
Her condition was very serious. The grandmother was in very bad shape. She couldn't walk anymore. She is 85 years old and her son is about 50. The people, how can I put it? They wouldn't have been able to get out on their own. Starting from there, with the essential help of our specialized energy drones, they were carefully brought to a specific designated location, where our dedicated medical team picked them up and safely transported them to the facility. To the transfer zone, where they were taken to the medical unit, to the medics.
The soldiers say they were risking their own lives as well.
Well, yes, I understand that there is a certain risk involved, but when you consider the value of saving 2 human lives, I think it's worth it. If we didn't protect our own people and save lives, well, what would be the point of this war? In
this very village, there is still one resident left. He refused to leave. During the next mission, the UGV that had saved people was destroyed by the enemy. So now the brigade is raising money for a new robotic complex. It is needed both to supply frontline positions and to evacuate from the combat zone. You can see the QR code for the donation jar on the screen. Svitlana Shikera, Podrobici, Inter TV channel, Marathon United News.